Thanks, Don. It's great to have somebody take credit for what may be angering a few people, and it's not me for a change today. So anyway, I want to welcome everybody this morning. It's great to see you this morning. I don't know if most of you are like me. I'm glad to see that 2016 is history, and we're starting a brand new year. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce, we have a couple of our board members here today. We have our Vice Chair, Mr. Pablo Cedillo, who is here. And just an added note, Pablo has decided that he is running again for the governing board, so in case you missed that. We also have Dr. Martha Romero, who's in the back of the room here, who's also a board member. And I believe that's it. I think Linda Siegel may be trying to join us later, but we do want to welcome them for being here this morning. I'm looking forward to a new year, to the new clean slate, the chance for new opportunities that a new year gives us. It's a chance for us to serve our students and our community, and it's also a chance for us to celebrate our college, the people who work here, and the game-changing work that we do to change lives for the students and families of our community. Now, unless you've been on another planet, asleep, or somewhere where you couldn't receive tweets, you know that the world has changed in the last few months. And we have to learn how to live with that changing world. You know, the world, we see incidents of violence, crisis, social upheaval, economic distress. You know, if I had to choose a word to describe the mood of the country, and really the mood of the whole world, it would be unsettled. And that unsettled feeling has also impacted college campuses. You know, college campuses used to be a little bit more carefree, happy places. They've always been issues, but the issues that are facing us are also impacting our college campuses now. Students, staff, faculty, administrators are stressed. We're facing uncertain times and economic challenges, but we will overcome those. And we're going to talk a little bit today about how some of that will happen and where we stand and really the good shape we're in as Santa Fe Community College to overcome those challenges. You know, here in New Mexico, if you've been reading the newspaper or you've paid attention to the last few months, you know the budget cuts have been severe. Across New Mexico, colleges and universities are having to make drastic cuts. New Mexico State has had to eliminate jobs in entire departments. Just before the break, San Juan College had to lay off a number of faculty and staff to meet their and balance their budget. Luna Community College has done the same. CNM has eliminated over 100 positions. The UNM Health Sciences Center is eliminating hundreds of positions of doctors and staff, mostly through not filling new positions and attrition, but it does impact jobs. And it seems like it's happening everywhere in New Mexico. So what's happening at Santa Fe Community College? I'm going to let Nick Tass is going to get up shortly, and he's going to give some details of the budget and where things stand on the financial outlook. But I and our board are committed to moving forward. We've taken a balanced approach and a conservative approach to our budgeting over the last couple of years, and as a result of that, we're in much better shape in terms of dealing with the budget cuts that have already taken place. As you know, we recently adjusted our budget for this fiscal year. We did not have to impact any instructional programs. We were able to find the funds in a variety of areas to cut. Can't promise that will continue if more cuts come, but at the present time, we're in much better shape than most of our peer institutions in the state. Our delegation, our legislative delegation in Santa Fe, we've been meeting with them. We will be meeting with them again next week to talk about our priorities and to work with them to try to minimize any future cuts to higher education. But we're also going to be asking for some special capital outlay funding for the public address system. You remember we met in here back in, I think it was October or November, and we had Jesus Villahermosa talk about the crisis training. One of the things that we've identified that we really need is a public address system so we can have a campus-wide announcement, including the parking lot, should any event be taking place on campus. So we've already talked to our delegation, and they have agreed to help us look for up the $300,000 we need to do that. So I see Linda Siegel has come in, so let me introduce Board Secretary Linda Siegel. She's here. Thank you, Linda. There's a couple of issue areas that I would like to briefly discuss. One is shared governance, and one is the collective bargaining activities that are taking place with full-time faculty. I want to talk about shared governance first. We've been really focused on the last few years of trying to improve the shared governance process. It's an ongoing, quality-focused initiative, but over the last 2 years, I've come to realize that there's really two key components to making shared governance work. One is two-way communications, and the other is active engagement. On the engagement strategy, we need to get more staff involved with Staff Senate, more faculty involved with Faculty Senate, more students involved with student government. Those are your shared governance entities for the college. And then with that engagement, we have got to continue to improve the two-way communications between and among all of those shared governance entities. Shared governance is not just me communicating to all of you what's going on. It's all of us communicating back and forth and working on those issues. So you have my pledge to continue working on shared governance, continue trying to improve the shared governance strategies. I want to talk about the collective bargaining activities that are taking place. I think most of you know that through our local chapter of the AAUP, full-time faculty are exploring the possibility of forming a collective bargaining unit. I want to talk to you a little bit just about what that process is so that everybody knows about it at this point in time. Back in 2005, our governing board approved a resolution establishing a labor management relations process. It mirrors what the state requirements are. And so that's in place. A few key components of that process are at least 30% of a proposed collective bargaining unit need to basically signal that they want to hold an election. It's my understanding that that has already happened in terms of full-time faculty here at Santa Fe Community College. Once the eligible membership of that collective bargaining unit is defined, a formal election, a confidential election takes place to decide whether or not to form a collective bargaining unit. And for that election to count, at least 40% of the proposed members, eligible members of that collective bargaining unit do have to vote. And if at least 40% do vote, then a majority rules, okay? So I want to just make a couple of comments related to this effort. First of all, the college, the board, and I respect the right of all employees to explore forming a collective bargaining unit. And if it gets to that point, if the results of the election are that, we will honor those results. Secondly, if an election is held, I encourage all eligible participants to cast their vote. You do not want a very small minority to determine what your future is. So I would encourage everybody who is eligible vote to cast their vote as to whether they want to form a collective bargaining unit or not. And then I encourage you to make sure, especially for faculty, as good academic stewards, make sure that you are making your decisions upon accurate and complete information. If you're making decisions based upon information, question whether that information is accurate and it's complete. And that's what we ask our students to do. I would ask that of you also. And I'd like to also just add that while this process is taking place, the college will continue to operate as usual. It's business as usual going forward. There may be some items and issues that college management will not be able to discuss because they might end up being part of a collective bargaining process. But for the most part, it's business as usual as we go forward. I want to take a few minutes now before I wrap up in this particular place to recognize all those new hires that we have. I think we got a few mics around the room. We want to do what we've normally done so we don't leave anybody out. We want you to self-identify. So anybody who is new or in a new position since last convocation in August, if you would raise your hand, and we've got some people running around with some microphones to introduce themselves. So we got a few up here. And I'm sure there's more than 3.
Hello, my name is Ian Cleats. I'm in a grant-funded position through the Santa Fe Birth to Career Collaboration. I'm the Birth to Career Data Analyst. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
Hi, everybody. My name is Pat Simpson. I work in the Human Resources Office, and my title is Employee Relations Manager.
Hi, my name is Amy Pell, and I am the controller at the college in financial services.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Job, and I'll be teaching computer science and mathematics.
Hi, I'm Andrea Mueller. I'm working with plant operations as their new project manager.
So many of you may recognize Andrea. She's back.
Hello, my name's Veronica Hernandez, and I'm an academic advisor. So just ask her to say.
Hi, I'm Pierre Quintana. My advising responsibilities for the Center for Academic Transitions have changed and shifted over to Heidi. Cheryl is now working with the graduation task force in that project, and I'll be overseeing career development and working with international programming.
Hi, everyone. I'm Todd Lovato. On February 1st, I'll be the Interim Executive Director of Marketing and Public Relations. Thank you.
One more.
Good morning, everyone. Excuse me. Happy New Year. I am the new Student Affairs Officer. Thank you so much.
I was asked to page Jessica Romero. Is she here? You there?
You turned it off.
Hello. Hey. Good morning, everyone. My name's Cahalan Fittis. I'm now the academic advisor for School of Health, Engineering, Science, Health, Engineering, and Math. And I'm also part of the WAC as well, and happy to be here. Thanks.
All right, good.
Hi, I'm Jessica Romero. I'm the new Director of Clinical Education for the Respiratory Care Program.
Hi, I'm Ben Lauer. I'm the new assistant to special events and facilities.
I'm Emily Powell, and I'm a new advisor in the Welcome and Advising Center.
Hi, I'm Ann Travato. I'm the new Grants Accounting Manager.
Hi, I'm Janelle Gutierrez, and I'm the Skills Lab Coordinator and Assistant Professor of the Nursing Program.
Is that it? All right. Well, we want to welcome you. We've got some people who are brand new. We have some of our folks are brand new, some are returning, and some are moving into new areas. Well, I want to wrap up my comments here by just saying, although the mood around us may be a little bit unsettled, I don't want us to buy into that gloom and doom. We have reason to be optimistic. Our college is getting stronger, even while there are issues and challenges facing higher education. I see us becoming more passionate in carrying out the mission of the college, being more vital and vibrant campus, and I think we're on solid ground. I, just like most of you, care deeply about Santa Fe Community College. We have an outstanding faculty and outstanding staff, and I thank you for the great work that you do on behalf our students and our community. I know we can and will achieve great things together in 2017. Shortly, we're going to hear about some progress towards our wildly important goal, our 20 by 20 goal. We've had great success on several fronts. We face some challenges, but there's still lots of opportunity out there for us to move forward. And I'm hopeful that after we hear some of the things that are being successful, some of the ideas that are going on, that we will be energized and ready to move forward and make progress towards those goals this year. You know, remember now is more than ever, Santa Fe Community College is needed by our community. We're an inspiration for many of the people in our communities. We all know that education is the only way for people to move up the ladder, and our job here is to keep that ladder steady so they can do that. So I want to challenge each of you to continue doing what we've been doing and to move forward, and we'll even do more this year and make a real difference, more of a difference even than we've already made for our community and for our students and for their families. So thank you all for being here, and we're going to move forward. You want to say something? Pablo Cedillo, one of our board members, would like to say a word. Would you come on up?
Thank you so much. First of all, I'd like to wish each and every one of you a Happy New Year. Feliz Año Nuevo. And I'm really looking forward for 2017 to be a great year for Santa Fe Community College. I want to particularly thank all of the members of the community faculty, the staff, and everyone that has made it possible for us to have that balance that Randy talked about, because we truly have achieved a great deal in the last 2 or 3 years, starting with the $5 million deficit. Now we're in a lot better shape, and I am very hopeful for the next year that we are going to do better. I want to particularly thank the foundation. I know I don't want to single anyone out, but the foundation has done a fabulous job in helping raise scholarship funds for our students. After all, we're all here because of our students. That's really our primary mission, is to ensure that we are providing a quality education for all. So I also want to thank, I know that Higher Education Center is part of the college, but I want to thank them as well for doing a fabulous job in keeping all of the students that are coming to the center instead of going to Albuquerque or to Las Cruces or elsewhere. So I really want to thank the staff at the Higher Education for what you're doing. And just lastly, on behalf of the board, I just want to let you know that we are very conscious of what the needs of not only our students are, but the needs of the faculty and the staff. And we're going to strive and work very hard this next year to ensure that we're all going to pull together as we have in the past, and we're all going to pull for this community. We have a community here in our own college, but we're here to serve the whole community of Santa Fe. Thank you so much.
I want to thank Vice Chair Cedillo for speaking on behalf of the board. Since he brought it up, I do want to recognize the foundation. We just ended our year-end appeal, and we raised about $350,000 a year-end appeal. That's an increase over the previous year. So we're really excited about that, and it's going to provide more money for both scholarships, but for other programs, including our professional development fund and matching funds for many grants. So thank the foundation for that work. Now I'd like to ask Vice President Nick Tejas to come up and talk to you a little bit about budget and revenue and that outlook. Thank you. Nick?
Good morning, everyone. My name is Nick Tejas. I'm the Vice President for Finance and CFO here at SFCC. I know there's a lot of new faces here, so I figured I'd go ahead and reintroduce myself to everyone. I'd just like to touch on a couple of important issues affecting the financial picture of SFCC in the current year and upcoming year. The first really has to do with issues related to the condition of the state budget. If you remember back in October of 2016, the legislature met in a special session to address approximate $371 million shortfall. This legislative session, which begins January 17th, the legislature will be faced again with addressing another approximately $369 million shortfall. The budget shortfalls are stemming from oil and gas tax revenue to the state, and that is a result of some decreased activity with the energy sector of the state economy. It's likely that the legislature will again have to cut appropriations during the regular session. However, some good news here is that we are likely to have two strong educational leaders within the Speaker of the House office. Both the Speaker of the House of Representatives and the Senate Majority Leader of the legislature are likely to be legislators from Santa Fe, so that's good. And I know they'll do everything they can to help make sure that the impact to education is minimal. The chart behind me is it's an illustration of how we receive our revenues from the state and local appropriations. The most important thing to take away from the chart is really seen in years 2016 and 2017 under the blue color diagram, which represents state appropriation. There you'll see in 2016 and 2017, appropriations decreased by the amount of $786,000, which would be about an 88% decrease. And that had to do with legislative decreases. Again, we are expecting those appropriations to decrease during this 2017 regular legislative session. However, we will manage any impact to the budget through contingency funds that have been budgeted this year. So we feel we're prepared for any kind of impact to the budget. There's also some good news that you can see in the chart behind me. Local appropriations have been increasing over the years and are expected to continue to increase. And those local appropriations make up about 50% of our instruction in general budget. So the college is very fortunate to have that local tax base where it's able to support the college. I'd like to thank the Financial Oversight Committee that meets regularly. In fact, I know my time's coming to an end, but we have a Welcome Week meeting titled Understanding the SFCC Budget and Financial Report. That's scheduled for Thursday, January 12th from 9 to 10 a.m. in room 570. Each Monday before governing board meetings, we have the Financial Oversight Committee that meets at noon in the governing board room usually. And then we also have the Board Finance Committee that meets the Tuesday before every governing board meeting. So please look out for announcements that relate to times and locations of those meetings, and it'll help everyone understand the finances of the college. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Nick. I want to recognize everybody across campus for the positive improvement in our audit scorecard, but I especially want to recognize all the folks who work in the financial services area. So I would like for all of them to stand up and let's give them recognition. Going from 21 findings to 2 that are very minimal is an incredible feat. So please stand. Couple of announcements I want to make before we take some questions, if there are any. Number one, we're not going to have any breaks this morning, so if you need to get up and take a break, feel free to do so yourself. There's not going to be a scheduled break. Also, it looks like we may have a snowstorm tomorrow. So I want to remind those of you who aren't signed up for our rave system to do so you can get notice from a text, or we will send emails. We will post it on our website. Unfortunately, it doesn't usually start snowing at 3 in the afternoon so that we can make a decision early in the evening. It usually starts snowing after 10 o'clock at night, and we have to make a decision at 4 o'clock in the morning. But tomorrow morning, we are supposed to have snow, so keep the eye out. We usually follow what the public schools does, so if they're on a delay, we will be on a delay. If they close, we might close. Especially when classes are going, we don't always close for the whole day because sometimes the weather clears by the afternoon and the evening, and so we don't want to impact those classes for the afternoon and the evening. So keep in touch, and you can always call the weather line, log on to the website, and watch the local news in case we do have a delay or a closure. So now I would like to kind of open the floor before I introduce Margaret Peters and we move on to some of the other presentations. Now would be a good time to ask questions, especially of either myself or Nick Teas regarding finances. Are there any questions out there? It's a big room. You don't have to be nervous. We all know each other. Okay. I got one right here.
Could you give us a little more detail about the progress of advisors moving back into the schools?
Actually, that's going to come up in a little bit, so let's wait, and if that isn't answered, it's part of the next session. I don't know all the details, but I know they're coming. Okay. Anything else? Well, let's move forward. I would like to bring up Margaret Peters. She's going to lead a little presentation on what we're doing related to student success, and there'll be a few others involved in this section too. So, Margaret.
Good morning, everyone. It's good to see everybody. Glad to be back. Most of you know I love the beginning of a new semester. So this is exciting. Happy New Year, and I'm looking forward to an engaging and productive semester. We're going to talk first about our WIG, our wildly important goal. As you know, the biggest WIG of them all is 20 by 20. That's 20% graduation rate for IPEDS cohort, first-time, full-time, degree-seeking students who complete a program within 3 years. So this is by the year 2020. And most of you have been working on this diligently, putting together strategies to help facilitate this process, and that's exciting. So we're going to hear a little bit of that in just a few minutes. If you look at the graduation rate through a combined effort, campus-wide effort, and the success of the graduation pilot project, we are well on our way to getting to this 20 by 20 goal. This is exciting. We have a little bit of work to do, though. Our retention rates are down a bit, and we need to kind of look at that slippage. You can see that we're at 51%. Our target is 58%. If we make the same collective effort that we've been making toward graduation, we can make that have the same successes with retention rate as we have with graduation. So we're going to be looking at best practices and everything that we can do to help retain our students, to bring them back here semester after semester until they finish. There are a number of ways that we empower our students, but we can't do it if they're not here. any variety of things impact student retention, the scheduling of classes, the way we offer classes, our delivery options, and support services. And these are just a few things. We all have the power to impact student retention. The best way to do that is to educate ourselves on the support services that we offer for students here at SFCC. And we can empower them by letting them know that we believe in them. Here's what we're going to talk about today. I would like to talk to you about student support services and the things that we have to offer students. We'll also have a presentation from Kathleen Finn Brown about what the business department has done in terms of retention and graduation to keep students here and get them to graduation. Then we'll hear about how the Welcome and Advising Center and Marketing and Public Relations have partnered to create a comprehensive campus-wide retention campaign. Let's start with some examples of academic support. Accessibility services. That is what we now call what was formerly disability services, so it has a new name. Accessibility services ensures that students with disabilities have equal access to SFCC's educational and programmatic offerings. But did you know that they have a machine that reads aloud? Did you know that they have a collection of chairs, all shapes and sizes, for students who have special needs with regards to chairs? Advising. Academic advisors are available on a walk-in basis to meet with students, but did you know they do group advising each semester as a part of the first-year student success class? Megan asked a question about advisors in the schools. That process is going to happen on January 20th. So we want to get past the beginning of the semester. We want to get everybody registered, classes started, and then we are going to complete the process of having the advisors in the schools. And still, of course, advisors in the Welcome and Advising Center. The library provides help through one-on-one reference consultations and instruction for individual classes. We have instructors who have arranged some very cutting-edge, kind of state-of-the-art processes for working with the library and for librarians working with them in their classes. The library provides so many resources, but did you know that it also offers puppy petting during midterm and finals week to help relieve stress? How many of you went to see those puppies during midterm week? It's pretty exciting. The tutoring center is available for tutoring in all kinds of subjects. But did you know, where's Chris? There's Chris. Tell us something about the tutoring center, Chris.
We now have a dashboard that was built by Anthony Ulibarri in OPI that we can drill down, look at by subject, by student, by course, by tutor, how our services are being utilized. So if you have any interest from your program, how your program is being supported by us, please come see us. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. I spent most of my holiday with my 2-year-old niece, and so it makes me want to say, wow. That's what she says a lot. Look, look, wow. And in a little while, we'll sing the Wheels on the Bus. No, just kidding. Financial aid, grants, scholarships, student loans, and student employment. These are all available to students who file a FAFSA. But did you know that since 2012-2013 academic year, through the effective counseling of the Financial Aid Office, the number of SFCC students borrowing money to attend college has dropped from over 1,200 students to just 400 students. That means more students attending SFCC without the burden of loans needing to be repaid. Since 2010, Santa Fe Community College Foundation has provided $3.2 million in scholarships to more than 3,000 credit students. But did you know you can help through a one-time contribution or by setting up a payroll deduction plan? The campus cupboard is a food pantry for current students, faculty, and staff who are experiencing food insecurity. But did you know the cupboard is completely supported by donations? It gets food donations from around campus, as well as funds from student clubs and grants, often matched by the SFCC Foundation, and from employee donations through payroll deduction. The cashier's office helps with all tuition and fee payment needs. But did you know that students can set up an interest-free tuition payment plan through the cashier's office? The bookstore sells textbooks, in-store and online, SFCC merchandise, gifts, snacks, lots of snacks. Did you know that students using financial aid can charge textbooks to their financial aid account before the funds are dispersed so they can have their books in time for the first day of class? Food Services offers tasty food, but did you know that students using financial aid can purchase a food card which can be used before their funds are dispersed to help minimize potential food insecurity? Kids Campus offers year-round care and education to kids from 8 weeks to 5 years old. But did you know that SFCC students get first priority as well as a 10% discount? We all know that student development is the hub of student engagement. But did you know it also offers a mobile app called SFCC Connect, where students can share stories, post pictures, buy and sell used textbooks, and all kinds of other neat stuff. It's not just for students. You can download it from the App Store or from Google Play. How many of you are on SFCC Connect? I'm curious. You mind raising your hand? Oh, so y'all might want to check it out. Counseling Services provides help for students dealing with personal and academic issues. But did you know it also offers a series of workshops each semester for students to learn stress and time management skills? Career Services. It's a place where students go to find job postings and for help landing a job. But did you know it hosts weekly job club meetings? It's a support group for job seekers, which is often followed by visits from recruiters who are looking for employees. CEDL, the Center for Diversity and Integrated Learning, promotes inclusiveness, equity, and community. But did you know it's recently relocated and is hosting an open house on Thursday, January 12th, from noon to 4 in its new digs, that's 215A, behind the planetarium. TRIO. Did you know that TRIO is just about everything I've just talked about, all rolled in to a lean, mean retention machine? It's available to income-eligible students, first-generation students, and students with disabilities. Anybody else have some did you knows? Tell us something about your areas. What do we not know that we need to know today? Come on. Be brave. Ah, Susan.
And did you all know that Accessibility Services also serves students who have a temporary disability? You know, that broken arm during the ski season, we can get note takers for them. There's students who have just short-term disabilities that we can also serve.
Thanks, Susan. Ellen. Ellen Roth. I want to grab mine.
I'm Ellen from the Testing Center, and I don't know if everyone knows that last year we did 13,500 tests in the Testing Center, and we have services that are not only for classroom testers, but we did 600 tests for our public school teachers throughout the district last year. Also a whole lot of, I think there were 500 and some high school equivalency tests that we do down there. And we also do, our third biggest group was the National Registry for Emergency Medical Technicians. We did about 600 of those tests. So a lot of community support in our testing center.
That's a wow for sure. Who else? Tell us something we don't know. Oh, we got Peg. She's going to tell us how many people visited the library. No, I want you to.
You really don't want me to do that. I want to know if everyone knows that they have access to all the other academic libraries in New Mexico through our Passport program. So if we don't have a book and you need it tomorrow and another academic library has it, you can drive there and get it if you come see us first. And did you also know that you have access to many, many, many millions of volumes of books through our interlibrary loan program? We can borrow from Harvard and the Library of Congress and all around the nation and even internationally. So you have access to the world of print, and I'm going to just make a plea for print today, because you all know I usually do electronic stuff. So,
Thanks, Peg. Julie, Susie Weaver right behind you.
I just want to give credit to the registrar's office. They help us a lot with the 2020, helping our students graduate, get to the grades in on time, to help with financial aid. Many, many services that we really appreciate.
Thanks, Susie. And Michelle.
Hi, good morning. So
Hi,
just so you know, Kids Campus not only helps families go to school, but we serve as a lab site for early childhood. We've had 320 students use our site for their field work this year. We also partner with the nursing, and we have interns from all over the city who use our site. We also partner with the master's program here and with the Indian School, and have interns from those programs, and we are super proud of that.
Thanks, Michelle. Anybody else?
Good morning. I'm Ed McKeon, the director for the TRIO Student Support Services program. We have a new learning specialist to work with our students on developing learning strategies to help them reach their educational goals. And we're also going to hire some of our current students to serve as student success coaches to assist our students in reaching their educational goals.
Thanks, Ed. One more. Do we have one more? Jake. Oh, two more. Jake.
Did you know that the Skills USA chapter was revamped last year or brought back to life? And the culinary took, I think it was 9th at nationals, but they took 1st at state in culinary, and the welding sculpture took 2nd. And there are lots of competitions that just about every craft or career path is available to this, and it's challenging for the students. It's encouraging. It makes them grow. It makes them, my students, makes them better welders and more competitive. So I challenge you guys to look up Skills USA and become part of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Jake. One more. Shalimar? Did you? No? Okay. Barb.
Good morning. Did you know that Student Affairs, the Office of Student Affairs position, does take care of things like conflicts with students or conduct issues or just the affairs that might be impacting a student? But I want you to know that many times it turns that student around into being a positive outcome. It's not just a chopping block. And I think we need to remember that, because that's part of making them successful. So I just wanted you to know that.
Thanks, Barb. Thanks, everybody.
I'm glad several people spoke up. You know, all of you make efforts and provide expertise that helps in our student success initiatives. So we all contribute to that. We need to share more of those experiences, what we do with each other, so we can learn what to do and what works and what doesn't work. So now I'd like to invite Kathleen Finn Brown to come up, and she's going to tell you a little bit about what she's been doing to help us reach our 20 by 20 goal. Kathleen?
Thank you, Randy. In response to President Grissom's call to action on Santa Fe Community College's 20 by 20 plan, a 20% graduation rate by the year 2020, a set of intentional, sustainable activities were launched by the faculty and staff of the School of Business. The results of the following 5 simple, conventional actions were purely magical for enhancing student retention and graduation within our school. Jeff, next slide. Can you hear me okay? Okay. Action number 1, proactive advising. A nice way of saying intrusive advising. Last year, a degree audit, also known as CAP, was run for each student, for us over 150 of them, for those students having a folder of previous visit in our department's file cabinet. Those students who were found to be within 2 to 3 semesters of graduation were sent a customized degree completion plan and a schedule of course offerings for the next 2 upcoming semesters. In addition, all of them were requested to contact the lead advisor within the department. Here's where the intrusiveness comes in. Students who did not contact me were called by me or our lead admin repeatedly, intrusively, until they either responded to the call or enrolled in a course or set of courses for the upcoming semester. Interestingly enough, as intrusively as this sounds, many students broached, took the step, responded. Some students also were not even aware of how close they were to degree completion and or graduation. There was even one student who 2 years ago was eligible for a degree in business administration and accounting and had never applied to earn it. They were overjoyed to find out their eligibility. Our petition to graduate form submission process is also handled in a proactive, AKA intrusive manner. Next slide. Action number 2, an open house. Each semester, a week before the new registration period, an open house is held for 1 day from 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. in our conference room. In fall 2016, through a concerted effort of 3 full-time faculty members and 1 administrative assistant, a record 49 students, 16 students per each half hour per each advisor, were personally, one-on-one, advised into correct courses and correct degrees for the upcoming semester. A crucial faculty-student advising relationship for enhanced student retention and graduation was also developed. Next slide. Course sequencing plans. Through the creation and publication of a course sequencing plan on a semester-by-semester basis for each of the degrees in the School of Business, Students are now able to stay on track to degree retention and completion, and even more importantly, avoid enrolling in unnecessary graduation delaying courses. Next slide. Action number 4, in-house wait lists. In-house wait list created for full courses assists me as department chair in knowing when the potential for a new section of a course exists. Simply adding a new section of a course when an adequate enrollment is met and dean approval is given by my wonderful dean, Dr. Camilla Bustamante, often results in a more timely degree retention and completion rate for our students. Thank you, Camilla. The last of our major actions is action number 5, Canvas sites. The School of Business Canvas site for students, which is shown on the left-hand side of the slideshow, offers timely and pertinent information related to a successful and time-effective journey through degree initiation and completion in the School of Business. The October homepage is projected. The homepage is changed every 3 months. On the October homepage, for those of you that cannot see it because you're seated so far back in the room, there are links to our open house announcement and the degree plans, both of which I previously discussed. A new homepage will greet students when they return in 2 weeks. On there, for example, will be how to work with our wait lists in case they are looking to enroll in a course that is presently full. There is also a Canvas site for faculty which I created. The Canvas site for faculty includes links to information aligned to assist new and seasoned instructors with our school goal of enhancing student retention and graduation. Just imagine, I'll use Margaret's line, who would have thought a link as simple in the faculty Canvas shell as that of tutoring personnel and schedules, when known by faculty and shared with students, could make such a difference in the student retention and graduation rate within our school. In closing, I would like to offer a shout out to all of you who have implemented similar magical processes in your departments and allowed me to run with your ideas and further enhance them in mine. And to all of those of you that supported our school in this endeavor. So, for example, the marketing department, which increased the attendance in our open house from 24 students the semester before to the 49 students in fall of 16, to registration, to financial aid, the backbone behind our success. And for those of you that have not yet done so, I invite you to feel the magic in 2017 for yourself and your students as we work on President Grissom's goal of 20 by 20. Thank you, Randy.
Thank you, Kathleen, and thank you for all of the faculty and staff in the School of Business. I know many of you are doing these same types of things in your areas, but the results of putting together in a comprehensive package, a comprehensive plan, and even doing some of the things that you think everybody knows about, but we don't always know about it. We have to remind ourselves of some of those things each day. So thank you, Kathleen. Now I'd like to ask Marcos Maez, who does student recruitment and outreach, to come up and give you an update from that area. Marcos?
Thank you very much, Mr. President. SFCC faculty, staff, executive team, members of the board. It is my pleasure to be up here today to address to you Recruitment and Marketing and Public Relations 2017 Retention Campaign. Now I'm going to take this microphone so that I can look at the screen and we can go and move slides and make this flow even more smoothly. So Mason, let's move those slides. Okay, so what will the recruitment and marketing team do to help out with our goal to retain students? We are quite simply going to recruit them again. You can see here, common visions between recruitment and marketing and public relations are, we share the same goals of bringing students in and keeping them at SFCC. You can also see that we build departmental synergy, collaboration, encouraging new ideas. And you can just see some of the goals that we have: recruitment, re-recruitment, recruiting more, increasing the enrollment, and the retention of Hispanic males. Next slide, please. Now, one of the things that we want to do to re-recruit these students, to keep up that retention, is you can see over here, we want to bring heroes to SFCC. So, in my hackiest radio voice, coming soon to a campus near you, you can see up over here what you will be seeing very soon at SFCC. We are going to have actual Santa Fe Community College students. We will have their stories up here just like this. And this is all about empowerment. We want to empower our students. Yes, college is difficult. Yes, college is hard at times. Yes, sometimes life gets in the way. But what these students will be, and these are just actors, these aren't our students yet, but what these students will show is that even though times got really difficult and times got really hard, they made it. They did it. They made it happen. And that is what we are looking at right there up on that screen. There will be those stories of empowerment to show our students that they made it happen through extremely tough situations. And they will be that example. And our community, I am of this community. I am SFCC. Many of you in this audience went to SFCC. We know the challenges. We know the trials and tribulations that we faced while being students here. It's good to see folks from our community that made it happen. Next slide, please. You can see we'll have stand-ins, we'll have flags, we'll have things in the bookstore. You can see that online we will actually have their testimonials so you can actually hear them speak and tell their stories. So if students ever feel overwhelmed or they need that extra little bit of inspiration, they can look at all this, they can hear these stories. Next slide, please. So you can see this is just some of the data that we received from OPI in regards to the SFCC graduation survey as well as the student satisfaction survey. Next slide, please. All right. It is a blank canvas. So if you were to see that next slide up there, what you would see up there instead of that lovely Windows logo is you would see what we are planning on doing to retain those students based on the information that we saw from the graduation survey and student success survey. Oh, thank you, Mason. You got this, brother. Thank you very much. And that is just the perfect segue because we were thinking of ways, something catchy, something to tell our students to get them motivated. And we were thinking of You Can Make This Happen. It didn't have a ring to it. We thought of You Can Do It. But then we thought of the water boy and we thought people would just go, you can do it. So we thought about that really had that oomph, that really had that power was You Got This. Letting our students know that you got this. And I believe in you, Mason. I believe you got this. I believe we'll get that back up there. So to let those students know, yes, you got this. You can do this. You got this. Now, how will marketing and public relations, how will the Office of Recruitment and Outreach make that happen? We will make that happen by using results from the SFCC graduation survey and satisfaction survey. Let's go back to the slide, Mason. Let's go back to the You Got This slide. Thank you. We will raise retention rates with focus on first-year students and Hispanic males. We will inform students of the resources that are available to them, and everybody in this room is a tremendous resource to these students. We will empower these students, as I said before, that empowerment, and we will empower them to know the value of their education and what they can overcome and the obstacles to graduate. Next slide, please. Now, looking forward, we've also been working together with OPI, and the Office of OPI is working really hard to help us with data-driven decision-making. They're helping us in regards to region, here in the city of Santa Fe County. Where are areas that we need to target more? What can we do to improve our recruitment efforts as well? We will, by looking at this data, we can see how we can bring SFCC to different places. If they're not coming to us, we will come to them. And again, in the Office of Recruitment and Outreach, I believe strongly in collaboration. And I've collaborated with many of you in this room. And if you want to bring SFCC to the masses with me, you are more than welcome to do so. I look forward to it. So that is what we have in store. I hope it made sense. I hope that you're empowered and motivated. Yes, thank you very much. I appreciate that. And I will, oh, wow. Who would have thought that you'd get goosebumps at a convocation? Wow. And now I'm going to turn it back over to our president, Randy Grissom.
I forgot to look at my text to see what I was supposed to do next. With this new technology, I'm being texted what I'm supposed to do next. It's interesting. I want to thank Marcos and Marketing and Public Relations. I think we have a good plan going to increase our retention rates. That's our easiest thing to do. It'll help with our graduation rates and to help us move forward.